Hello and welcome to another Dominaria United draft. With again a pack which has interesting uncommons, not so great rare. I don't like the Stronghold Arena because it's basically a card that doesn't do anything. Maybe gains you some life, but you don't wanna um, pay mana and a card to gain life. Now the point is of course to get some cards out of it, but in limited in general you might also have some high mana value cards in your deck, so I don't think this is playable in limited at all. Maybe as a sideboard card in some very specific situation. Anyway, it's a bad card. I wouldn't pick it. The uncommons are each of them very good. Let's see the commons here quickly. If I would want to force Domain, the Sojourner, I guess would be picked, or even the land, but I'm not gonna do such thing. The Knight of Dusk's Shadow is really good. Balmor is really good, and the Strength of the Coalition. But I think I take the single color card, and such a good evasive 2-drop does the job even on later turns. So I just I think this is the most flexible choice out of the options there. Now I am seeing another Strength of the Coalition, so if I opted for that, I would be very happy to take another copy and then draft an as go wide deck as I can. But since I didn't take it, it's this time to pick it after having a Knight of Dusk Shadow. I don't think the Rulik Mons is really decent too. A little expensive for a 3-3, but it has a menace and an ability that nets you either cards or at least get your token. Very good. It doesn't suit my colors. My first pick colors, of course, but if red and green will be open, I definitely need to. I wanted to have this card, but I'm thinking about something like a bite down, maybe black-green could be a thing. I'm not too interested in the Balduin Atrocity. Bone Splinters is decent, but okay, I'm actually taking the Rulik Mons because if red-green happens to be open, I will be sad about not having this card in my group of picked cards. This pack, it has a tribute to Urborg. I don't even know if I should try to say this word. Let's say it as Finns do Urborg. Yes, that's definitely going to be the correct pronunciation. Alright, so I don't know. There's a sunbathing root voice. I think it's okay even in 2-color decks where the pump is only +2/+2. Raff is the best card in the pack, but maybe I should consider following up with my first picks. I'm going to take the tribute here. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Hoping blue-black is the archetype to be in. Well, there is a really good blue card in here. There's also a nice green-blue card, so. But I'm taking the Talas Lookout for sure. A couple of these Jodas codexes, I'm passing them. These are pretty decent in the full domain deck because it's not that hard to achieve the full domain, and this is still fine if you pay 1 mana to draw a card. But anyway, I'll take the Lookout, hoping to be blue-black with no shenanigans of multiple colors. Rulik Mons isn't going to happen because, as you can see, red-green isn't exactly open here, and I'm happy to follow it up with the previous picks with the Tolarian Terror. I think it's very good. Was it my first draft in this format? I think the draft number 1 was where I had blue-black, and it was really a good showcase for the power of this Tolarian Terror if you can combine it with a reasonable number of instant and sorceries, and it's not even that hard. I could take the Shore Up or the Monstrous Wall Leech, but this is the better option here, so let's take that. Okay, I got the Rona. It's actually not super amazing. It's a 4 mana 3/4, hard to cast, but you can maybe have the opponent lose a couple of points of life, and then if the game goes really long, you can cast it from the graveyard by ditching a couple of unnecessary unneeded lands from your hand. So I'm gonna take it here because even though this pack has a bunch of decent cards for blue, bunch of blue and black cards, not many of them are decent. I could maybe play the Impulsion here thanks to Terror. The wall here isn't the worst, but I'm still taking the sort of build around uncommon here, or maybe Signpost uncommon. Alright, so it's time to take a 2-drop, I think. Impulse is a card I would be willing to play in a deck that, you know, actually wants to have those instant and sorceries, but I also can find many impulses later on, I think. I'll take a 2-drop. I quite like the scry ability there as well. Alright, so here... Yeah, this is really not a limited card. It is a 4-mana Vigilance Ward 2, but it's only a 3-3. Yeah, you can have some legendary creatures, they are uncommon ones, but yeah, it's definitely not something I'm splashing here. Academy Wall or Soaring Drake. I still take the more aggressive option than the defensive option. Alright, so this is a nice pack. There's a Tolerant Terror number 2. I could take a Shadow Prophecy. Timely Interference is a totally playable card, even if you don't have access to red. But I think I'm gonna go deep with the terrors again, like I did in the draft a while back ago. I have enough playables. I don't really care about the automatic librarian. I think it's okay, but I think I will have enough playables anyway. It's definitely one of the first cuts ever if I have more than 23 playables. So I'm gonna be a little bit greedy here. Take the 20 gems in the form of this rare, because I don't really think I'm gonna need the librarian. Alright, so this is actually worse than the librarian when you don't have more domain than for 2. There's a codex. It's really... I mean, I don't think I like the 3-2 here. I could take the land, but I think I'm going to take the codex just in case I'm gonna play a number of different, you know, basic land types. But there's also... Okay, the domain was open, the Sojourner here, very late. I'm still taking the negate here. I'm not going to move to, you know, green, blue, black here. I'll just play this straight 2-color deck, unless, you know, pack 2 rare really moves me to some other direction, which it does not. Alright, so I could take like a 2-drop, but this is a perfect pack. I mean, kind of a sad thing, because this is pack 2, pick 1, and all I'm taking is a common land, but the options for me are the 2-drop and the 3-drop, and I don't like this 3-mana 3-2 is when you don't even get any good benefit from the domain. It will be 2 only in this deck, most likely. I'm not gonna pick that. I would take the Splatter Goblin Blade, but I have a 2-mana creatures. I have a tribute to Urborg. None of this is necessary. I'm just taking the land. That makes at least it's gonna make it easier to cast the Rona and the double caster Talas Lookout. And here I think I don't have to look anything else. This is just a great card. I'm gonna take it, and let's see the options. I'm gonna pass a Soaring Drake and a Toxic Abomination and one of these librarians. Yeah, sure. Let's take these and move on. Alright, Cult Conscript, Haunting Figment, Phyrexian Espionage, Shore Up, Timely Interference. Well, I'm not taking the Apparition. That's just not happening. It's a fairly weak card, actually. Not totally unplayable, but something you really are gonna play as like a 23rd card. All of the other options, pretty interesting. The thing is, though, I have only one instant in here, and I already took 2 of these terrors, so I think it's time to take the Espionage just to, you know, get these instant and sorceries happen for these things. I like the Conscript, but I take the draw spell this time. Soaring Drake, Splatter Goblin. I think I'll take a 2-drop here. Yeah, there are some lands, but I don't really plan to splash anything or care about the domain. Yeah, I know I took the codex, but it's not really a pick I made. You know, I didn't really anticipate using this. This was like pick number 13 or 12 or something like that. Here we got a very nice Extinguish the Light. A very good gift. Such a quality card this late in the pack is a good sign that black isn't at least completely cut here. Also, you know, helps feed the graveyard instant and sorcery count to make these Tolerant Terrors a little bit cheaper. Alright, so here, Frightful Return. Not really sure this is even that great of a card. I would prefer my non-creatures to be instant and sorceries thanks to this terror. And now I could take a... Well, I'm not taking the Blessing. I'm not taking the Academy Wall. I think I'll just take the other land because I have these double casters. I have 3 of them already. It's really important to get, you know, 2 of both color sources. I actually, sorry, I have 4 of them, 2 blue and 2 black. So these dual lands will be very important, even though normally 2-color decks don't exactly need high peak duels, but when you have a lot of double casters that cost, you know, for example 4, and I'm getting another extinguished light here. That is pretty fantastic. Anyway, it's with a 9/8 mana base, it will be hard to always get to have the right combination of lands for these double casters when you need it. Okay, I'm getting a writing necromancy. It's not bad either, but how many of these expensive cards can I have here? I think I need to cover my bases and take another 2-drop here just to stay defensive enough that I can, you know, take over the game with these terrors maybe. Alright, I still don't think the scavenger is that great. I guess I have a little bit of a hole in the 3-drop slot, but I will find some cards worth 3 mana. Yeah, I'm taking the goblin here. I don't have to play all of them if I find some, you know, a bit more impressive 2-drops, but that said, I have only 5 2-mana creatures. Currently, I'm playing all of them. Okay, but now Toxic Abomination, Librarian Drake. I think I like the flyer here. Now it's time to take a 3-mana card. Yeah. Okay, I'm very happy to get the Timely Interference. 1-mana cantrip that makes terrors cheaper, and it's, you know, sometimes you get some value out of it. It's not even that important here because mostly I want to have cheap terrors. Alright, none of these will be for me. Let's take the uncommon. Okay, both of these coming. Okay, no one cares about domain. I could have forced domain in this draft, but I have had so many drafts where domain stuff is just not open at all. That's actually a card I could play. And I'm actually rather happy about the, you know, the cards I'm currently having here. Now this is, let's see, 19 non-land cards, and technically I could play everything in the main deck. Even the Soul Tender is okay, so I don't think I need the 6-mana 4/4 Djinn. It's a little bit expensive, but I don't think I care about these other options too, but I will take an Aquifer. Looking at my double caster situation, I think it's really important to take, you know, a third one here. I mean, maybe not really important, but it's definitely going to be more valuable than like a random playable, which I consider the rest of the options there. And here I get not a random playable, but a very good card in Arona's Vortex here. Good stuff. Let's take it. Move on. There's a counter spell, there's an aggressive sabotage, and necromancy. What's this thing? 4-mana 3/4 reach. Creature opponent controls. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't really feel like splashing. This doesn't seem like a bomb rare. It's efficient in what it does, and definitely in a black-green deck you're never gonna cut it and you're gonna pick it high, but I'm not gonna splash it. So the question is, Necromancy counterspell or the sabotage? I think I'd rather have the counterspell at this point. I feel like I'm a little low on instant and sorceries, and yes, I do have only basically these 2 payoffs, but it's pretty important, I think. Now, am I gonna play a 2-mana? Well, it's not exactly opt, but still a 2-mana draw a card effect. I like the 1-mana card draw a card effects, like the Timely Interference. You know what? I'm just taking the 4th land. Hopefully, never gonna have any trouble casting these double casters. I just, by the way, picked another one of those, a 3-mana double caster, so I can easily play all the 4 tapped lands. But am I gonna play 5? Blight Pile is... Yeah, I want to draft a defender deck. I haven't drafted that a single time, not even in the drafts I have done unrecorded. Sometimes I'm gonna want to pick early a good defender and then build around it, but it's not this time because it's pack 3, pick 5. Now, I need 2 spells for the deck. Is it time to... No, I'm gonna be crazy and take all the Aquifers now. Alright, finally I get something. I didn't get past an Aquifer, so I guess I can play a Vivisector here. That's gonna round up my 2-drops quite nicely. And here, Shadow Prophecy versus Impulse. I think I like the thing that draws me 2 cards rather than giving me selection. I will never have more domain than 2, but instant draw 2, lose 2. Sure, let's take it. And, well, look at this. Another good of these defenders. But yeah, it's gonna be a Tolerant Geyser. That's a really decent one. Although, I do like the short up, but Geyser, that's it. I think I have enough instants and sorceries now. Now the question is, what is pick? I think I'll take the Writing Necromass now. I might want to have a third of those big hitters. I sadly didn't get any more of these terrors. Let's take the on-color card, which I don't think I'm gonna main deck. Might be sideboard worthy though. Alright, how about this? I mean, if there's a game where I want to sideboard in Writing Necromass or main deck it, well, I'm gonna take this because I might sideboard, I mean, main deck one and then have to use the other one as a sideboard option. Tide Turner. I don't think I'm gonna play either of these, so let's take the uncommon. I have some cuts to make now. Only 2 cards though, because I have here 5 lands. So even though this says 30 cards, that's only 25 non-lands. Okay, I got one of these 2-drops. I don't need to play every one of them. Magni got Sentry as a blast pick in a pack. That doesn't seem right. I guess green was quite open. Alright, so what we got in here? Joint Exploration. I have a couple of card draw effects. The Espionage and then the Prophecy. I don't need a 2-mana draw 1. And I don't think I'm gonna main deck 2 of these Necromasses, but I probably will have one. Because, yeah, I could have a heavy hitter there. Now the question is, what are the cards? Well, it's certainly gonna be one of the Splatter Goblins. And that's still, you know, I still need to cut. That's usually a 4-drop, so I put it there. We still need to cut. I mean, I could, I guess, cut another of these goblins. I might play the Battle Rage Blessing. It's also one thing to, so it makes indestructible and death touch, so it kind of works. It serves a couple of purposes. Of course, the one being just winning a combat, like a pump spell would make it, but also it does counter some kind of removal spells. Not exile based, but anything that destroys or deals damage. So, and then it's an instant I can cast fairly, you know, early in the game for as a, you know, on curve play, for instance, when I want to have some instant and sorceries in my graveyard for this thing. Now I'm thinking if I should play the Soul Tender. Now the idea with this was initially that it does not adjust with both of these, you know, putting creatures or instant and sorceries in my graveyard is valuable, but it is a 3-mana 3-1. But then again, it does have the 5-mana option. At some point you will net a card, so maybe I play it. I think I will cut one other Splatter Goblin. So now that is still that's 5 2-mana creatures and then a 2-mana play I can have that, you know, maybe removes an opponent's early play when I don't have one available myself. I could consider playing 16 lands because I have this cantrip, some card draw here. But also I feel like that's maybe a bit too ambitious. I do want to still hit for 4 mana quite fast because I have these Talas Lookouts, the Extinguished Lights, and so on. And also these things will, you know, when you get to cast these for 4 mana, it's already, you know, decent. You can't expect to, unless it's very late, to get any cheaper cast out of these things. So I do want to hit my land drops up until 4 lands pretty surely. So I'm going to just cut one more card, and I'm thinking whether it should be the Soul Tender or not. I kind of like the counter spell somehow. And yeah, the two drops are of course the weakest ones here, but I mean, should I maybe not play the Vivisector here? That is, let's see, that's 8 instants and 2 sorceries. Okay, that's fine. How to do it? Maybe I should just cut one of the Soaring Drakes and play the Soul Tender because it does have synergy with my 7 drops, which hopefully, you know, won't be 7 drops. Okay, I can cut one Drake from the main deck. Still leaving one. That's only a couple of flyers in here, but my idea is not to, you know, win with the flyers, it's just to win with the big stuff. I have a bunch of removal here. Tribute to Urborg, Extinguish the Light, and then the Rona's Vortex, they are all, you know, removal that can remove a bunch of things. Okay, I think this is the deck, and I will play all of these because of the double casters. And that's fairly even mana requirement, and of course I have the 3 blue double casters, 3 black double casters, so that's very easy. I mean, just add here now 6 plus 6 basic lands, so I have a pretty impressive 11/11 mana base. If I'm gonna have some color issues, I will be a sad guy in that case. Now I've played quite a few of these Dominaria United drafts, so maybe it's time to, you know, go back to some other lands than the Dominaria United ones. For example, this is one of my favorites. So let's take 6 of these, and should I pair it with another Kaldheim land? I like the Aurora Borealis here, or are they Aurora Australis? I don't know. It's a fantasy setting. Yeah, let's have it. That's the main deck. Okay, I'm on the draw. Let's keep it. Because it's totally fine here. I only need 1 land to actually get going here. And there it is already. Plus, the Splatter Goblin is quite nice in getting rid of the Battlefly Swarm. Yep, let's do it. And then the kicker version of this is 5/5, but it is a bit tempting to make them discard a card at some point, but let's see if I draw the island, which I would need for the Talas Lookout. I don't draw the island, so now it is a question of doing the... So I'm up against the domain deck that already has a full domain. That's a classic. So definitely next turn I want to play the Lookout. But I don't... Despite, you know, having all the dual lands, I didn't draw any of the 5. So I'm still looking at the turn 4 with, you know, only 1 island, even though I have 4 lands. So it maybe is a bit too greedy to make the opponent discard 1 card, and then they might just have an extra land at that point. They have all the colors already, so let's just do the play, which hopefully gives me another blue, and it did. Alright, so now I can continue normally. It's not like the Vivisector was going to be super relevant. I think a 2/2 is a little bit too small at this stage in the game. So would it be able to attack? Well, actually, it seems like it might. So are they gonna have a counter spell on my Lookout? Hopefully not. Definitely I'm going to play it though. I have actually a nice curve here. I mean, I can play the Frost Feast Strider, and then I can even play the Tolarian Terror. Oh, that exiled. Alright, so no cards for me. That happened. But anyway, it's still fine because I have the Frost Feast Strider here. Like I said, I'm repeating myself. And then a nice Tolarian Terror. Even though it has only a discount of 1, it doesn't matter because I naturally, you know, get to 6 lands on my turn 6. So I don't need it to be discounted. Let's see what they're gonna find for this thing. So I'm gonna tap down the Swarm here. Well, I'm gonna make them... I mean, it's a bit annoying. They can jump block this guy anyway, but then again, I'll still do this. At least they have to jump block, because they will be the 5/5 as well. And I guess, if they somehow like Now I'm happy I have the battle rage thing there. So, is there a possibility they are not going to block? I want to play a vivisector here for sure. If I'm gonna go with the... Because I'm just talking about the situation that I attack with both of these and they don't block with the Marrow. And then I could just play the 6-6 here. But I guess I don't want to tap out on it anyway. Yeah, I will play the vivisector here and hope they don't. I hope they block with the Marrow, but yeah, I think it's possible they just use the Wine Wall to block the Strider, and then okay, they didn't respect that, which is really good. Maybe they forgot this is a card in the format. I even have this, and this is now 5. Okay, alright. This is the domain deck in action, they only have good cards. Now I have a bunch of removal spells that can get rid of the 10-10 there, but of course now I can attack with this Splatter Goblin, sure. Gets miscries and I can kill the battle pile I swarm here. They might take 2 here, which I wouldn't mind either. Now this was a good jump blocker on the battle pile I swarm, but I think I'm just gonna do this. Now I have a blocker on the Bone Rattle. I know I don't have this up now, but I will ideally have it in future. Okay, they get more jump blockers. I guess if I can find one of my removal spells on the Marrow, it's gonna be fine. Alright, so I'm not gonna play any more lands because I do have the Golden Uncommon, which I can cast from the graveyard by discarding 2 cards. So let's still, of course, attack with the Splatter Goblin. I don't mind if they continue taking 2, but I get to scry and I get to kill the relevant Battlefly Swamp here, so... decent. I get to scry twice even, so this is gonna finish off the 1-1. Yeah, that's not needed. That's not needed either. I need to, get the removal spell on the 10-10. But once I do, I'm good to go. I can counter their next, problematic play. It's here and there if that is a problematic play. They will get a +5/+5 pump on something at some point, but that is... So they're gonna get a basic land and then they're gonna get a 1-1. I guess I'm gonna let this happen. I will have to just jump block something. Because they can start... Oh, they chose... Oh, it also gives trample. I somehow didn't realize that it's also trample. They can go straight to... I forgot it has read ahead. But basically they gave this now +5/+5 and trample. I can take it. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna... eliminate 2 of that damage. And I get to scry twice. Yep. So I'm still going down to very low life total. They might have a gas might, but now that I can counter still, so... Of course I would have lost to 20, that would have been enough trample damage to kill me, but now I just hope to scry into something good. And that is... That's not the worst. That's definitely not the worst. Okay, I'm gonna scry into this. I kind of miss out on the second scry, but this is a good jump blocker. It doesn't have trample anymore. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to attack with the 4/4 and the 5/5, right? And then I can block. This of course assumes they don't draw anything too crazy good. Because they might block with the 0-2 and 1-1. They might take some damage and they can take the 4/4. But all I need... Well, yeah, I guess I can't attack with the... Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave the terror to block. Don't do that. Yeah, so this gives me another scry. Although I should have done this. That was a mistake. Because if this is a card I want to have... Well, actually it's not. I don't want to take 2 life loss now, I don't think. So am I gonna mill this because I know I'm gonna mill 3, but I definitely should have milled first, and then, you know, get the scry option. I feel it. I mean, I can go to 1 now, basically. But no, if I leave it on top, I'm gonna still, you know... I'm gonna still mill it because I'm gonna play the Soul Tender, so maybe I'll just do like this. I don't know. Now I'm gonna mill my good removal spells, am I? Am I gonna mill my good removal spells? Yes, there's 1, but there's only 1, and I can get, you know, the good thing is I can get the Frost Strider back. That will lock down the Mara for a couple of turns. That's gonna be card draw. I mean, I guess I kinda can have it. But in the end I just wanna find my good stuff, so there's still one of those removal spells. And there's also the Rona's Vortex or whatever it's called. Okay, so maybe I should first see that this thing doesn't get countered. Although, I want to first attack, I think. The question is, do I even want to use the Strider right now? Well, I guess I am gonna do that. They are holding priorities, I don't like that, but hopefully it's nothing too dangerous. They choose to block with the 1/1 instead of... So they actually just drew another gas miter. That was annoying, but... Oh well, I still have 2 outs at least, and I have a bunch of cards in the bottom of my deck. Okay, Tribute 2. Okay, I have a... That's a -6/-6, okay. Well... That's not enough. Sadly, they have the jump blockers there, I don't like that. I will jump with the Vivisector now. Maybe I don't have to. Okay, let's see. Now, sadly, they of course drew the Sunbathing Root Wall. So this is a -6/-6. It's gonna kill only one of these guys. But I kinda needed to kill the Sunbathing Root Wall too. Oh man, this is tough. Maybe they don't attack. Tribute to Urborg would have been one reason to actually keep the cantrip spell. I didn't just realize that I have that as an out too. So I can give it -6/-6. And with double blocking, of course, at the 4/4 I will win. Problem is I have this 2/2 to deal with. So I have to just get lucky here. I need more creatures here. Or, you know, the actual removal spell would work very nicely too, so... That's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, so there's 11 cards still, and 2 of them are stuff I know I will... Well, it's what it is. Oh, I'm happy they actually chose that. It doesn't really help too much. But I mean, if they blocked first, then they wouldn't have needed to jump block in here. But the problem, of course, is that I have to jump block the Marrow, and this is still not lethal. So this is gonna be... Oh, they actually chose not to... Now that is interesting. They chose not to attack. Why? This was only dealing 4. They should have attacked for sure. Now they do that. I can block here because I can recast this. Vigilance trample shot. Okay, well there is the vortex now. Sadly, if I attack with everything, I mean, if I attack with both, yeah, I can't do that. I have to just do this. Yeah. Right, I go to 2. And then... Yeah, okay, I get Necromass here. Which also would have been... I mean, it seems like the opponent is not flooding. They need some kind of hasty... Oh, lightning strike onto the face also works, but... Okay. That was... They started flooding there. But man, that was the territorial Marrow which they got back with the BO3 Bone Rattle. That was tough. Also the turn when I didn't counter this, but then again, by not countering this, I countered the Gas Might. I guess in the end, I don't know which was better, because I did go to very low life total, giving me difficulties. And yeah, I didn't realize they can just go to chapter 3 there. Anyhow, that's the deck. They are mono green domain. Because as you can see, there's not, it's mostly green cards and then black as a support color, and then these dual lands mostly to make the domain stuff good, which is a very kind of a sensible way to draft the domain deck. That way you don't have trouble playing your spells because they mostly will be castable with green mana sources, and then you can support the domain stuff with the dual lands. All right, so. Writing Necromass, thank you, please. That's a good one. And negate. Yeah, I guess. How much actual removal did they have? I saw the Terra Sunder. And then there was the couple of Gas Might. So maybe. Let's see what I'm cutting. Even though the Splatter Goblin was, fairly decent in dealing with the one Battlefly Swarm. Any other of their cards, it's not really gonna do much against them. So I'm gonna cut both of them. And I will play the negate, I think. Now, I didn't see a lot of ways for them to block my flyers, so maybe I want to have a 3 mana 2/3 here that flies. And then I would not play like... Even the Vivisector seems like quite bad here. Maybe it's just gonna have to go. Yeah, this mana curve is bad, but then again, given what my opponent has in their deck, maybe it's okay. I mean, I don't expect them to aggro out. I guess they can have the Root Wallow, but the Root Wallow is just a 2 mana 2/2 until later in the game when they have mana to use the 4 mana pump. Okay, that's one way to deal with their stuff. Not the big stuff. Oh, these make an appearance now. Right. Well, maybe they have the thing I can take a Saga that I can counter. Nope. Well, I don't have anything either here. Oh yeah, I keep the domain deck all the time in the world too. Well, that's annoying. I need to kill that, I guess, before they get to untap and do something nasty. Yeah, I mean, this was of course I still, I had a pretty unlucky set of draws there, all those lands, but this is what the domain deck wants. The opponent doesn't do anything, and then when it starts to go B to, turn 5 and so on. Oh man. the Necromass is costing 7 here really hurt because I mean this is gonna deal again. I mean, they have the full domain. No, they have 4. There's no island there, but this is 10 damage if they use mana to pump. I'm not gonna jump block here. I'm not gonna make them use the pump. I guess I'm gonna do that. So if they attack with the Root Wall, I'm gonna block and they will have to use 4 mana for that. I mean, they're probably happy to do that because there's no rush, but at least I go 1 to 8 here. And now I can start playing my Necromasses. Sadly, I don't have the negate up here, so we will see if they have it. Yep. Well, guess I can try. This, like this. Can they finish off the Necromass or they have gas bombs? At least it has death touch, so it's gonna die, but I need to hit something rather good here. That is a rather good, so let's do that. I mean, it's only a 1-for-1. Opponent has a lot of spells in their hand, so I mean, it's probably not going to be enough. I also cannot even cast my card draw spell, the one that makes me lose 2 life. Why would they... Nah, they shouldn't boost anything. Nah, this is gonna work, right? If I'm gonna win this game, it's a miracle. Yeah. Just play another creature and that's all you need. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother any at this point. Both of these are lethal and that tends to be a 6-6, so that's not really how to play that game. I need to, you know, have my better half of the deck. Now I did cut a bunch of 2-drops, but it's not like my 2-drops are gonna be that great later in the game, so they're mostly for jump blocking purposes, so that's why I don't want to rely on them. Here I can still, you know, at least apply some pressure first, then there I have a counter spell and some removal and this. Don't know about this trick, maybe it does something, maybe not. Root Swallow, no, why not? Sure. The fact it has only, you know, 2 toughness is really good, because if it had for some reason 3, it would be really good card. Now it's at least somewhat fair only. Sadly, I don't have a negate for that. I would have definitely negated that. Okay, so now I can play this. Well, let's first attack. I mean, the wine wall is still good because it does net your card. It's just basically a land, and then it gives you a jump block, or in the defender deck it can contribute to the defender math there. Help him well. So again, I can make it into a 3-2, which is gonna be enough. They are not going to block, but then again, maybe it doesn't matter. They're gonna get, by the way, a big attack on there. So yeah, it's going to be... Well, I guess it's only going to be a +3, but it's gonna be 8 power. So I can't really block and... Okay, I'm willing to sacrifice my Vivisector here. This is gonna be a 2-for-1. Oh, but that's a lot better one. A lot better one. Because I just get to kill it outright. Wow, I didn't expect this to happen. And then I can counter whatever spell they might have there. With the Earthise Cone. Right. Yeah, I don't care about that thing attacking for 6. Sorry, for not 6. 4. It doesn't always keep +5/+5. They don't even want to attack. That's fantastic. Alright, now I got my removal and all that. I guess they are gonna have a gas later, but I will respond with the extinguished light or the airtight cone. Maybe the counter spell. If I had a land drop, yeah, this extinguish would be a lot better, but I don't have. It's gonna be, yeah, they got the land that gives it +5/+5 now, so it's gonna be 6/6, and yeah, with the interference it's still gonna be enough. Okay, fine. Now I can at least kill something. They might be playing the Outrider here. This is suddenly a lot easier now that I have the removal available. Wonder if I should use this as just a card draw effect. Kind of want to go to... I mean, it will also make them lose a life. I'm gonna do it. I don't think there's any other use for this. Okay, there's a flyer. Alright, well, this is good stuff. This is the good stuff. Sadly, I didn't have a spell for this to deal the final, but it seems like in the game 1 and game 3 they just flooded out a little bit too harshly. There's not much else to say. Yep. But also here, now that I did draw my removal in time, it was a lot easier. But of course it was easy mostly because they got hit all these lands. Now one of these lands did come from a spell, actually 2, so let's see. I mean, this and this contributed in getting them a land, so without them they would be having at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. I'm at 6, so I guess it's maybe a matter of, you know, these kind of cards that do mostly just give you a land. Sometimes when you flood out, you should also count them. Now they did have those as spells, even though they turned into lands mostly. So that was the first match. Okay. Alright, that is a totally fine hand to start with. Okay, blue and red, or some kind of a domain thing. Just wondering if I should have the Splatter Goblin can attack into a 3 toughness thing, so I guess I'm gonna... If they have like a 1/3 drop of planes and the white common. Or electrostatic annoyance. Yeah, before this thing starts getting counters, I'm just going to... Well, I'm gonna offer them the chance to actually block it. I don't think... I mean, if they have no ways to increase this guy's size, maybe yeah, then... But let's just get rid of it before it's too late. The Strider was a very nice draw there. So... Well, they have at least the main color red. Counter class, they can haste it, but... Kind of want to play the Shadow Professor in here. I'll take some trample damage from this guy, but I mean, the other option is to play the Vivisector here. It doesn't even help, even with the interference, it will kill the Vivisector here. So I think I'd rather play the 3-mana spell on this turn. I will take 2 points trample damage and then 2 life loss here, so it's not great, but at least I'm potentially having the Strider on the next turn. Okay, and there's a swamp as well. Okay, they chose to not attack, which is totally fine for me. Yeah, I get both of these in my hand, there's not really much option. I was thinking about cashing this in just for a card, but since I had the five lands here, 5 untapped lands, that's all fine. I'm going to... I don't know, maybe I should have attacked with the goblin first. But I'm gonna still do this, and oh, that was maybe a mistake because this has managed. Yeah, it was a mistake. Now I can't even block this even if I wanted to, but I guess I'm the guy who's gonna race here. They get the basic land. This is a card with the basic land type, so this one actually gets the... Yeah, this is the... Again, the kind of event where I get these domain decks against me, but yeah, this can get it. That kind of thing. Sunbathing people. Alright, so let's see. I might get them with the interference. Or I might not. If I attack with both, they are more inclined to block. This sacks lands, right? So if they take 6, what's my play then? I'm going to play Drake and Vivisector, and some things will happen. I will try to raise them. This is threatening to be quite out. Okay, so they actually let that trade happen. That's really good for me. I don't have to worry about the Kavu anymore. I know I could have played the... Well, no, actually, I didn't... Yeah, well, I could have played this for the Scry, but then again, there was maybe a chance that both of these will die, and then I choose them to die and play the Necromas at 5. But maybe not. I should have played this break first. So if they're gonna attack with these, they don't have planes yet, but they will have because they just got a idyllic beachfront. So this is going to deal 7, and so they might have a Gaia's Might. Well, I mean, they do. It's annoying because this thing has trample, so it will trample a lot of damage. Okay, I take 8. At least those things traded. I get to Scry. I have a Necromas coming up. That's gonna cost... Yeah, I don't need the swamp. That's a 5 mana spell, and I have the 6th for the timely interference as well. I mean, if they kill the Necromas and... Yeah, that's kind of a problem, but... Sack a land, draw a card. So if I attack with both, they take 6, and then the Necromas gets dealt with, and if they have 4 mana after that, I lose. And the interference won't help there. Other option is to just attack with the Strider here. But then my clock isn't so good, because now if I get them to go to 6, I'm going to offer lethal attacks on the following turn. So maybe I'm going to risk it now. I hope they don't have a way to deal with this creature, with so cheap that they can still activate the Sunbathing Rootfall. Of course, 1 Gaia's Might will be enough also. But I guess this is the moment of truth. If they have a 2 mana removal spell, good for them. I'm guessing it's a Gaia's Might now. Okay, no. Oh, they have the thing that deals me for damage based on the reach guy. Exactly that. Yep. Well, that's 5 damage there. So again a domain deck, which is green-red, and then yeah, the other lands here, the support domain stuff. Although there is a basic island, so they have some maybe like a kicker cost or something. So of course now I can think that if I chose to attack with only the Strider, I could have blocked with the Drake on the 6, on the 2-2. So, and then of course I would have, basically I wouldn't have died. I would be at 1 here when they attack with the Root Walla, and then, well, they wouldn't even attack with the Root Walla because they didn't have mana to activate. But well, the point is that if I did the safer way, but I didn't know they're gonna have a 5 damage burn spell there, even though it's a very common card in a domain deck. Regardless, I'm gonna again need a Necromancer here. The Soaring Drake, this thing has reach. It's a bit annoying, maybe not gonna use the Soaring Drake that much. The Splatter Goblin is, I think, an easy cut. Negate. Didn't seem a lot. I mean, that's only creatures there, so no negate, right? I'm gonna do it like this. The problem with the domain deck is that if I give them too much time, they will find their expensive stuff that is gonna halt my attack. So I wanted to push for damage there, while I saw a path to a lethal on the following turn, and that is the risk I took. Because if I play too defensively, they are gonna pile up with their good stuff, and then I can't deliver lethal at any point anymore. I guess I'm gonna keep it because I will counter something with the Scorn here. I have the mana here. The Necromancer hasn't really cost a reasonable amount of mana in these games, but okay, that's a good start. That's really annoying. I wanted this to... man, would have been so good if I had this available right now. But what can you do? I'm gonna play it to block. Even though it's inefficient use of mana. But yeah, this is... I mean, you have a 2 mana 3-2 trample, that's really good. And they have a way to save. I get to Scribe, I don't even know. Well, I think that's good enough to keep anyway. Okay. Oh, they miss a land drop. Well, that's gonna help me a bit. So I'm gonna keep up the... Actually, I'm not even going to keep up the counterspell. The most expensive card they can play is 3-drop, and a lot of their lands are Endless tapped lands. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna main phase the Prophecy because I have a bunch of those Endless tapped lands still. So if I can make a tapped land drop, yeah, I'd rather do that. And that's exactly what happened. And the next turn I can have the Ties Con up. Do they still have a 2 mana play? Okay, so that's actually interesting. They had a 3 2-mana plays there, but it's fine because I have a way to kill this. Again, I have to kill it before it becomes a problem, so I'm gonna do that exact thing right now, and I can have the counterspell up too. And then I can play either the Necromancer or the... Well, I guess it's gonna be the Necromancer, right? Do they hit more of their land drops? Because they have at least 5 spells in their hand, so it's gonna be hard to win the long game if they start hitting their land drops, but I guess if they don't... Okay, they did. Only thing I can counter. Yeah, you are not getting that stuff. I mean, the land mostly is. Plus, I'm not even sure when I'm gonna... When it's gonna be the next turn I will have, you know, mana up for a 3-mana counterspell. I hope they don't have a removal, because I could have played the Rona there and leave Battle Rage Blessing up, but I don't think the 3-4 is good enough. They're at 20. Okay, so there is that. When this becomes tapped, another target creature gets a ton of pumps. Alright. I can start raising now. But I kinda don't wanna play the island, because I might want to cast this from a graveyard, but at the same time I might want to have access to the timely interference. But I think it's unnecessary. Let's just do it like this, maybe. Well, I guess I need to have the 7 lands anyway. I'm not going to cast this from the graveyard anytime soon, so I will rather have access to the lands. And this doesn't pump itself, so they would have to, you know, have a trick to get past the 3-4, and I have the Battle Rage Blessing to, you know, mess up with that plan. Well, it doesn't. Oh man. That's not what is gonna work here. So that goes away. So I'm gonna take. I mean, they of course have the full domain again, so that's gonna be 6. That's 9 damage. I think I'm gonna do this just to ping them a bit. I don't know. Does it even matter? Death Touch and Indestructible. Well, it doesn't help against... Oh man, that was such a good one. I didn't even see that in the previous game, so I didn't know to expect that specific card. But that's the domain deck. I mean, it's very easy to draft it because, I mean, they are playing blue-black card in the red-green deck. Oh, at least there is that thing. So, this is gonna be dealing 6 to me if I leave a... I mean, I would really want to attack for 5 here, but I can't do that. I can't do that. I will go to... I mean, even if these trade, I will go to 1 and then I'm again losing to a bunch of things. Alright, so that is also... Well, I don't know anymore. They have also like a Soaring Drake in the deck, so I guess if you just draw all your colors, then everything is fine. So that's going to deal with. And they are going to block with Balduin Berserker here. But I'm going to kill the Warlord here. Okay, it's time to... I mean, I guess it's maybe even time to attack with both, because this is 8 damage. If they take it all... Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this now. This might seem a bit crazy. But they don't know that the Radha is gonna die. And this might affect what they're choosing to do here. So just yep, that's fine. So when this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control. Yeah, I need to. I can't let them attack. I'm gonna do this just in case right away. Now they can deal 3 damage to me, and I go down to 4. Okay, Tantiova and a land drop. Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I didn't expect them to have a hasty 3/3 flyer. Well, hasty anything there. The opponent really had just all they wanted to have. Now, I'm not winning anymore. I don't have any life gain here. So, that's it. Well, actually, I do have a life gain now. Oh man. So how to do it? We'll kill the Tatyova. Oh, this is... No, the land will be forever. Yeah, that will be a forever a flyer. So now let's see. I'm going to go to 5 here, but I basically need to kill the Forester. I'm going to gain 3 life from the forest as well. Problem is when they have a land drop. Okay. It's so close, but man, the Tatyova with the 3/3 hasty flyer, it's so nasty. I'm gonna attack with all, they're gonna block with the Berserker on the 5/5 kill that is Soul Tender. And then I'm going to... I need a block. I don't have even mana to play the Extinguish the Light and the Blessing there. So I can't even attack with anything else than the Soul Tender. If I attack with the 5/5, it's just not going to work. Yeah, this is just not gonna work no matter what. I guess I can make them make a mistake. Maybe they block with both, and then that will never happen. They will never block with both. Yeah, this is horrible. I mean, I'm facing 5 damage in the air. Even if I gain the 3 life, it's not gonna work. I can kill the forest, but they have this thing. When this thing dies, it will... Yeah, the problem is when they enlist the Tatyova with that, it's going to not work. If they have a land drop, they have another hasty attacker. It can target any land. It doesn't have to be the one. So even if they throw a tapped land, it will be an untapped attacker that they can create. So if I attack with the Necromast, Berserker blocks, kills this thing, and then I don't have enough blockers. But the problem is that if I just don't attack with anything, I'm gonna lose anyway. So I guess I'm gonna give them a chance to somehow mess up. Maybe block with both. That would be my chance, yep. And that now means that they have here... They might deal to me, or it doesn't matter. So now, because this will still be a land even if this thing dies. That's the thing. Yeah, land creatures you control have flying though. That's I mean, I did actually miss that. I thought the land will always fly. That would have made a little bit of a difference, in fact. I'm glad I read this post-combat. I mean, I'm still in a very bad shape. But it doesn't matter, I mean, I can kill one of them, I'll still lose, so let's just move on. Sometimes the domain deck draws all the stuff and all the colors, and it did mean... I guess they did play, you know, blue-black spells there too, so red, green, blue and black, and they had no issues with it. So let's just accept that. That is actually one of the parts of this draft format which I'm not a big fan of. The domain deck is a little bit too easy thanks to the available lands. So if you can't curve out versus a domain deck, you are in a very, very, you know, you are in a bad place because their cards will always be better than yours when they can play the best colors, best cards from all the colors, and also the domain payoffs are really good. So if you have 5 different land types, Gaia Smite, 1 mana +5/+5, just a common. The 4 mana 4, so 5 mana 4/4 reach creature, a common, deals 5 damage to opponent as an ETB. Those are really powerful effects. If such cards were printed without, you know, domain requirement, they would be, you know, no people would laugh that no one would ever print that kind of cards. So the payoffs are a little bit too good at common, and the way to these common lands are distributed in the Dominaria United packs means that they are really easy to come by. So Dominaria United, based on the drafts I've done so far, is not you know, my favorite format. It's not even near my favorite format, but it's still a good one. But I wish the domain wasn't that easy to draft and get the payoffs for it, because it's quite boring when, for example, in this event, 2 of my opponents have played domain. This 2 opponent doesn't seem to play domain though, but it's not only this event, it's a lot of my events I have played. I have had 3 domain decks against me. That gets pretty boring pretty fast. So that's my one maybe. I do like the color balance and all that in this format though, so regular 2-color decks, if you are going to draft them, you can have any of the color pairs can work if you get the, you know, proper payoffs for it. What is this opponent doing though? I'm not exactly sure. Well, before anything will attack, I'm not sure if I want to play the Lookout or this Soul Tender and the tapped land. Feels like they don't even have a counter spell there, because they would have countered at least a Soaring Drake here, right? And there's no 4 mana counter. They had a counter spell on the previous turn, so don't know really. I could just play the 3-1 here. And the tapped land. Okay, let's do it. This is something they definitely don't want to even counter if they have one, after all. The milling also can be relevant because I have a Tolarian Terror in here. Maybe a Rona's Vortex. Let's see what gets milled here. Creature, land, creature, so no help for the Terror, but I guess if I do draw the Necromass, it's gonna be cheaper. Okay, so there's an Extinguish the Light. So yeah, based on that I could have played the Lookout, but of course this 3-1, the reason I played this 3-1 because they have nothing yet. This can easily attack for 3 here, unless they have like a very specific thing like a Frost Fist Strider here. Well, I can kill it once I get to 6 lands because of the Ward 2. So the Lookout would have been able to connect here, but oh well. Well, actually it wouldn't have been able to connect because obviously it would have gotten tapped with that Strider's effect. So yeah, no harm done there. Could double block. I could get a card here, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. They probably have some kind of trick here. And I'm in a position to raise them. I have 8 power here. They have no blockers so far. Of course they do have 4 cards and 6 mana, so anything that can happen. That's very good. Okay. Well, I mean, we can just do this. I cannot kill the Strider, which I probably will, but maybe they have a trick of some kind. I don't think they're gonna take 8 here. Yeah, we can trade these guys. No problem there. So what do I get here? The other one goes to my graveyard, so it could make this into a 6-drop, but they might also have an SS Scatter, but I'm a bit too afraid of counterspells sometimes. For example, in this early game they did. In fact, you know, have 1 up and they didn't counter my stuff. Now the question is, am I going to try to kill that? Now I could of course play the Geyser here, but I don't want them to recast it. I will kill it. I'll try to kill it with the Extinguish the Light. Problem is, I don't know if that's gonna be better to play now, or if they have like an Airtight Call. I guess I'm gonna do it now. And they have a way to save it. Yep. Because I could have made them tap mana on their turn, but then again they untap with more. Okay, they just had a classic negate there, sure. Well, my Terror is gonna be a 5/5 now. I have 1, this is gonna be a -3. I have the Geyser, but I would want to Geyser anything but that guy. But yeah, making them use the negate on their upkeep would mean they have now 4 lands untapped instead of 6. But I was a little bit afraid they might have the 3-mana counter spell. But I guess that was maybe... I didn't really expect a negate though. Yeah, it's not a card I usually run in the main deck. Well, they have their own Terror, but I guess we can just... Ward 2, yeah, this Ward 2 is really nice. Am I gonna bounce that and continue with damage, or... Because I feel that's what I want to do. That will be even cheaper on the next turn. It will cost 5, but what can it do? Oh, I really wish it didn't cost exactly 5 there, because I would love to counter that. That would be very good. Yeah, I don't know if I can beat the 4-5 and a 5-5, assuming they have also something for my terror. Of course, if they don't, then it's not such a big deal. And this is now -4, -4, but it will still cost 6 to kill the Strider. They might play safe and not attack if they are fearing that I could again do something to their play. Yeah, that's actually good for me, because I don't have anything. I didn't want them to attack me to 8 because I won't be having a counter attack on this turn. I'm not going to play a tribute here. I think it's gonna be my own terror this time. Especially if I would be able to draw an untapped land, because that is gonna leave me at 8. Okay, they gain some life there. I'm not going to use the tribute for that. Okay, they really wanted to not... So, interestingly, they chose to not attack and still not play this one. So I guess they are gonna have another counter spell there. Okay, well, with that thing, it's really easy. Just play this and counter whatever they have. Yeah, that's gonna be an SS scatter or something. So now this is -5/-5, so if they actually are going to mostly tap, well, they do have an SS scatter, so they are not gonna completely tap out this. This is gonna cost 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 actually. Man, they look at this. They have this. Well, I guess my deck has to extinguish the lights as well. So we actually have very similar cards. I have the Strider as well. Once this dies, I get something back from my graveyard though. Do they still have interaction? It seems like they're trying to do something to the terror, which is very annoying. Well, if they have... I mean, they... Well, we'll see. Okay, they have that thing too, sure. Well, that is something that... Well, let's see if they are going to try to raise me, because I go to 8, they go to 7, I go to 4, they go to 4, and then I die. So raising is good for them, even if and I will be able to kill the terror there, but I'm losing this race. I know I can jump block, but it costs 5 mana to use the ability. It's not cheap. I'm not gonna jump block it yet. Oh, that's not good at all. So it's gonna cost 6 mana to get rid of that guy. Well, that means I can't activate the Soul Tender yet, so I might as well go for 3 here. Next turn I can jump block it. But yeah, I'm in trouble now. Yeah, they had good interaction there. And yes, I know I could kill the Strider right now. But I think I'm not going to kill the 5/5, not the 4/4. Okay. Okay then. That's a challenge. That's gonna be a challenge. I die when they attack. Well, I mean, the one who draws more of their big stuff wins. I'm gonna take the Writing Necromass here. I will take a negate for sure. I don't need Splatter Goblins here at all. How about the Soaring Drake versus like a Vivisector? I guess the Flyer is slightly better. I don't like how heavy this curve is now suddenly again, but it seems like my 2-drops just aren't gonna do much in here. Or maybe that is the trick, curve out, and but then again, if I draw this later in the game, I mean these Splatter Goblins, that is going to be rather rather annoying. So I guess, yeah, not gonna play this one. Paying 3 to draw the cards is a little bit too much. So let's try with this one. Okay, that is totally fine. I can turn 3 the Shadow Prophecy, and then I have 4 mana options here. A couple of my tap lands are already here, so I can draw only, well, 3 of them. At least it is not against a full domain deck. It's a little bit refreshing, although I'm not usually a fan of mirror matches either. I don't know what's up with that, but I never liked playing mirror matches, neither in Constructed or Limited. Figment. Okay, so they're gonna get under me with that thing. That is a little unfortunate. I don't think I don't mind them negating this, so I can wait this until later. Maybe they play around counter magic and play something, you know, worse than what they would otherwise play if I had 3 mana. I mean, if I was all tapped out. So suddenly they are like domain stuff, having domain stuff. It isn't a blue-black deck anymore, but okay. Yeah, just go with the 4-drop. I can actually even recast that thing. They didn't have an SS Scatterer this time. Next turn I can play the Vivisector and the Sorin Drake. Let's see which of their removal spells they're gonna use on the Rona here. The kind that puts it to my graveyard so I can recast it at some point. But for now, let's just add it to the board. I'm not going to stop, you know, playing my lands at this point. I will play my 6th land for sure. I wonder what their domain payoffs are. Now these are blue and black lands, of course. That's gonna die pretty much immediately. Yeah, we can trade here. Don't need it. Alright, so I might choose to not play a 7th land, but we will see what happens. Opponent still at 4 cards in hand. I can kill one of their big things, and that is annoying, but I have myself that kind of stuff too. Okay, I got my own terror here. So by playing the 7th land, I wouldn't be able to do anything too amazing here. I don't really want to trade with the Lookout right now. Just gonna play this thing and hope they don't have an answer for that. And if they attack for 3 in the air, I will take it. I will attack 7 back. Okay, 2 more cards. Okay, Rager, that's a good one. Okay, Blessing, not a bad one. They're gonna jump block right away, or do they have like their own battle rage blessing, which is a possibility. Nope. So, do I want to keep mana up for the Soaring Drake, which means this is not so easy to cast anytime soon? I mean, sorry, for the Extinguish the Light. And I think the answer is no. I mean, it's enough to have the blessing here. They might have a counterspell though. In which case I'm facing 6 damage. In which case I probably have to use the Extinguish the Light after all. Maybe I should have done this pre-combat. I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that they might counter this thing here. So what I'm gonna do now, I really don't want to give them a card, but killing something like a Fire Action Rager with the Extinguish the Light seems so bad. I would gain 3 life there, but they might have some big things, although my Tolarian Terror will just trade with the big things. So I guess I'm gonna have to do it maybe right away. Again, do I want to do it right away, or do I want to let them throw a card? And yeah, this means I won't be able to cast the Rona anytime soon. Now I can discard non-lands, of course, I can discard the Blessing, but I feel the Blessing can be quite useful. I mean, going down to 5 is really harsh, so I guess if in case they have a negate in their hand, I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, the lookout is really good. I want to draw my own. So they actually had the negate there. So they just had the SS Scatter and the negate, which is really good for them. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. Okay, well there is the vortex. So sometimes. What was I even saying? I mean, it's not the opponent's fault that they draw the cards they do. Of course, they're gonna use the cards they draw. But I mean, this was an amazing draw because now I have a path to victory. I'm just thinking if I should simply just yeah, let's do this. So I guess I'm gonna be dead anyway if they have a counter spell, so it doesn't actually matter too much. Although I'm gonna make them I want them to attack with everything. Yeah, that's the thing. This is an instant after all. So if they drew another negate or counter spell, they're all the thing that gives +1/+1 and hexproof. So be it. That's something they can do. We have very similar decks. I don't have a Fire Action Rager though. I don't know if the Mana Worker is necessary for them. Maybe they have a splash of some kind. But the 1/3 stat line isn't really that great. But they have a jump block on the Mana Worker. I'm gonna go down to... I mean, if they attack with the Mana Worker, then of course they have to jump with the Rona, but I will go down to 2. Yeah, it's not over, definitely. I mean, it's not over for in the sense that I'm winning here necessarily. I have a path to victory, but I think I might need to draw something good, and the opponent must not draw anything too good. Although they can also cast the Ronas from the graveyard once they jump block, and they have 1 card in their hand as well. So I really hope they just attack with the lookout and then, you know, triple block or double block the terror, and then I could use the Battle Rage Blessing, but no such luck. They drew another negate. Wow. Now that was lucky. That was lucky that they not only had the negate there, then they quickly drew another one. Anyway, that was a tough match, but of course the opponent had a very decent deck too, and sometimes, you know, like I said, the opponent draws better than you. I did draw well myself too, but it's just that it wasn't enough. So that was it. I didn't even show the deck, but I guess you got the picture. I like the deck, and the fact it went 1-2, I don't think is necessarily any indication that the archetype is bad. I had a bunch of powerful cards. I guess I didn't get the knight, the uncommon knight, which was my first pick in the draft. I didn't get to use that like at all. It would have been helping there, you know, in those tight race situations where if I get that down on turn 2, now if it doesn't get answered, it's very easy to attack a bunch of times with it, so that you are going to have easier time to win with the flyers. But that was it for this event. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.